Hello everyone. Are we in a housing crisis? So I hear a lot about a nationwide housing crisis or a housing crisis right here in Florida, as Florida is definitely different than other places. Or perhaps we're experiencing a citywide housing crisis here in the Sarasota, Manatee counties. And many believe that Florida specifically is facing some major housing crisis and it's only going to get worse. So for those of us that live in Florida, or for those that are thinking of calling Florida home, what are we supposed to expect in the next 12 months? Well, today we're going to talk all about that. But first, I'm Lisa McBride with Sarasota Neighborhood Experts, and my team and I love helping so many people buy and sell here in the area. So if you're thinking of moving or investing in the area, or you're just curious what your home's value is worth, give me a call today. Also, I want to add real quick that in today's video, I will be sharing some stats and facts about Florida and our current market, but some of this is also my opinion and things that I'm seeing in the market. Now, keep in mind, I can't predict the future, and unfortunately, my crystal ball isn't working this week. Okay, so does Florida have a major housing crisis? Well, personally, I do think so, but not for the reasons that you may expect. Normally, when people talk about housing crisis, the first thing that comes to mind are declining prices. Homeowners losing their homes to foreclosure, being upside down on your mortgage. All of these things tend to be worst case scenarios. And there are other crises, however, that we're facing today, and some that you may be aware of and others that you may not be. Such as, to start with, is our major insurance crisis. We hear about this all the time. And just a few weeks ago, another insurance company made the decision that they no longer will be able to insure homes here in Florida. Now, over the years, there's been dozens of insurance companies that have made the painful decision that they just cannot insure homes here in the state. And many believe this all has to do with hurricanes and the weather, which we keep hearing is getting worse. But this is just one piece of the equation when it comes to rising insurance costs. Another challenge that companies in Florida face that has impact on our insurance premiums definitely comes back to litigation costs. A recent analysis has found that despite accounting for less than 10% of all homeowners' claims in the United States, Florida actually leads the country in insurance-related litigation, with almost 80% of the total in the nation lawsuits against insurance companies coming here in Florida. And there are a number of reasons why, and that is like a whole subject matter, but there's a lot of fraud that goes on. And there's a lot of legislation going on to try to combat that. Now, just how high is insurance in Florida? Well, Florida's insurance costs are 3% the national average. And the national average cost here in Florida currently is $4,200 per year. Now, please note, this is the average. And if anyone, aside from an insurance agent, gives you an estimate, please don't take them too serious. So for instance, if you're a lender or you're working with another realtor and they give you an idea, we do not know. There are so many factors that determine the cost of insurance, starting with prior claims on the home, as well as claims that you, a homeowner, may have filed. The age of the roof, the age of the windows, water heaters, all of these have impact on insurance costs, not to mention where are you located? Are you close to water? Are you in a flood zone? All of this is very, very important. For instance, I recently had a buyer close on new construction and their cost was $1,800 for the year. While I have another client spending almost $1,800 a month living on one of our keys here along Sarasota's Gulf Coast. So you can see how much it ranges. Now, another area when it comes to insurance is our Citizens Insurance Company here in Florida. And if you're not familiar with Citizens, I'm sure if you are moving to the area or live in the area, you are going to hear about them. Citizens was created by Florida legislature back in 2002 as a not-for-profit tax-exempt government entity to provide property insurance to those eligible Florida property owners that were unable to find insurance coverage in the private market. Now, Citizens was definitely for those that really needed it. However, Citizens Insurance is considered kind of the last resort for Floridians. At one time, there was maybe 600-700 policies through Citizens, and today it has blossomed to 1.2 million policies. And this has definitely become a burden on them. Like I said, the Florida government is really trying to change a number of things to help with insurance cost. Although insurance is just one of the housing crises here in Florida. And this may not seem like a crisis to some, but our crisis is that we have a lack of inventory. And I know statistically our inventory is up 150% from a year ago, but you have to remember how low inventory was and how long it took to build that back up. And also builders, there's so much new construction, but builders don't have inventory and it's still taking 12 to 18 months to build a home. So it's somewhat hard to find a perfect home. And a common theme that I hear when I'm showing homes is the lack of homes to see, or perhaps the lack of homes in a certain neighborhood, or that the homes we're seeing seem a little bit overpriced for what you're getting. And here I am with my opinion again, and I agree with many of my clients. Not all the time. Sometimes homes are priced absolutely perfectly, and I think they're well worth their value. But occasionally we are finding homes that just feel like they're trying to get too much. And many times when I'm out showing homes, no matter what the price point, from $4 million to $400,000, there's only 4, 5, 6 homes that a buyer finds that they even want to take a look at that are going to fill the qualifications of what they're looking at. So an alternative may be to build a home. And not everyone has 12 to 18 months to build a home or want to wait 12 to 18 months. And then there's the difference between, is it more affordable to buy resale or new? And that is, again, is another topic that is so important here in Florida. And it can be argued that no matter which you buy, you're going to be spending money updating a home, or you're going to be spending money on new construction, putting in all the new blinds, window treatments, furnishings, everything that you need to do when you buy a brand new home. So there's always cost associated with buying a home, whether that's new or old. Another crisis that we are facing here, and my team and I talk about this all the time. It seems like, why are so few older homes ever been updated? Well, I mean, human nature tells us we don't want to fix something that isn't broken, and who wants to spend money when something is functioning just fine? But when it comes to home values and appreciation, keeping your home updated can absolutely increase your value considerably when you put it back on the market, not to mention how quickly you can sell the home. But so why do so few Florida homes built before, let's say, 2012 feel updated? Specifically in locations here in Sarasota or any coastal community? Well, one of the reasons is a number of the homes prior to the past decade that were bought were used as second homes. And who needs to spend additional money on a home that they're only using 3 or 4 months of the year? It wasn't really necessary to update them. And so we're finding a lot of homes that feel very original to the 1989 or 1996 or even 2002. And even if you wanted to update your home, as many people do, also finding a reliable, ethical contractor that can be trusted to remodel is not always the easiest. And with labor shortage continuing throughout the nation, finding qualified help that you trust to come into your home and not gouge you, well, sometimes that's hard. And again, who wants to do that? I mean, I have things I'd like to do in my home, and it's just sometimes easier to just deal with the way it is than to try to find someone to make these improvements. Another part of our inventory crisis, though, everyone, is, we had such low interest rates during the pandemic. So many homeowners are now sitting at a home that have 3% interest rate, and no one wants to sell and leave that home. Not right now. So I'm not sure when our inventory is going to change. Will we ever get back to those days where new homes can be built in 8 months? Or will Florida legislature be able to help with the cost of homeowners insurance and drop things to a reasonable level without the fear of our losing insurance altogether? We're hopeful that at some point, everything is going to become a little bit more balanced and a little bit more affordable. But until then, Florida is definitely experiencing a housing crisis. I want to hear what you think. Will Florida be affordable again? Put your comments below and let me know what you think is the Florida housing crisis, or if there is one, or what have you found, whether you're looking for homes or thinking of selling a home. How can I be of help? And let's keep the conversation going. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time, take care.